In this video we're going to look at recording donations, but we'll start by looking at the configuration. Under the configuration you can enter your HMRC charity reference, a default income account for donations, and if you were to incur any charges, which account should be charged. If you're eligible under the Gift Aid Small Donation Scheme, tick for eligibility, as well as community buildings election, but only if applicable. If you are registered for the Gift Aid Small Donation Scheme, the system creates two donor records, .gads and .non-gads. These are system records and are locked. For other donor records, you will have to find whether they are a gift aid donor, non-gift aid, corporate or donor aggregator. If a gift aid donor, then you have to enter their name, first line of address and postcode. And you should confirm, if you want these donations to be included in a gift aid claim, their taxpayer eligibility start date. You can also attach the gift aid declaration form. With this detail now entered, we can record the donations. This can be done singularly through Add Donation, as a batch of donations, if we're having a collection, or via the bank import. If you're processing the bank import and it is a donation, then you add using the donation document type. You can also save this as a rule, so if you're receiving regular donations from this individual, then you would have an option to post based on the rule, and you'd simply be clicking OK to apply. Let's have a look at manually recording donations. We'll start with a singular donation. So here we are using the Add Donations option, and we can enter a reference and would specify the donor to which it applies. We'll enter the bank account that it's being deposited to, and then we add the transaction. So we've received, and the account is defaulting to donations, but it can be changed if need be, and we'd enter the amount received and the fund to which it applies, as well as activity if activity is being used. When complete, click on Save. If there is a fee associated with this, then we'll add the fee as a negative amount. So we'll again add item, we'll specify that it's to the bank charges account, and we'll enter the negative value. Again applying to the fund and activity if applicable. When we save the item, then that is now creating an expectancy in the bank account of £9.50. If these are regular donations and you'd like to memorize them, then they can be memorized and scheduled, and they'll be created automatically in the system for you. Once complete, we click Submit. We'll now move on to looking at donations received en masse, and we're recording them as a batch of donations. From the Donations menu, Batch Donation. This is typically going to be used when we're making collections, so it'll most likely to be for cash collections. So we're going to add the item, and let's say we've received some collections which aren't attributable to a donor, but they are eligible under the Gift Aid Small Donation Scheme, so we would apply them to the GADS donor record. Specify the donor, the date, and the value of the amount received. But rather being deposited straight into the bank account, this is going to be cash and undeposited receipts, so this will be banked at a later time with other cash receipts. We'll save that item, and we'll add any further items. Note that the date and the account are maintained, and you're just confirming the detail. If there were any fees associated with the transaction, then you can see you have the option of entering the fee and confirming the expense account on the line. So we now have £37.50, which will sit in our cash and undeposited receipts account that we will bank at a later time. The system, having used the batch donation, will create individual donation records for this. So here we have the GADS one, and then the second one for Faith Brown. We're now going to consider a couple of other options that are available. If we have a donor who is a non-gift aid donor, so here we're going to add one as a non-gift aid donor, and we'll just complete their details and then submit. Having added this non-gift aid donor, if we were to add a donation record from them and it is under the gift aid small donation scheme allowance and it's in cash, then we can record on the analysis section that it is a GADS eligible cash donation. You can also see this when recording the batch donation, and we'll pick the same donor record, that you have the option to tick a GADS eligible cash donation on the completion of the line. If we undo this item and look at a gift aid donor where the monies have been claimed externally, i.e. not through Liberty accounts and raising a gift aid claim, there you have the option to flag that the gift aid has already been claimed. With your donations recorded on the system, you can now prepare the gift aid claim. You can additionally report for your donations, including an annual donation certificate. Please feel free to contact us about this or other features of Liberty accounts.